Hey there, pirates! Welcome aboard the Anime No Me channel. What if I told you that a new enemy might be the key to Zoro becoming the only swordsman to wield 3 supreme grade swords? It sounds far-fetched, but considering his obsession, talent, and the incredible weapons he already possesses, this possibility starts to seem closer. In today's video, I'm going to reveal all of this to you. I hope for your support to help our crew win, and to do so, you just need to click the thumbs up button, leave a like, and subscribe to the channel. By doing this, you will win an incredible devil fruit, so just comment which fruit you want. Guys, Zoro has always been a character defined by his obsession with becoming the world's greatest swordsman. A crucial part of this journey has always been tied to the swords he wields. Since Enma was introduced in the Wano arc in chapter 955, it quickly stood out as a unique weapon, capable of testing the user's limits and demanding absolute control over their haki. But imagine Zoro's reaction upon encountering a sword even more powerful than Enma's supreme grade blade. It would be a moment of shock, admiration, and at the same time, a test of his determination. First, we need to consider what has already been revealed about supreme grade swords in the One Piece universe. They are among the 12 most powerful and legendary blades ever created, and so far, we know little about them. Yoru, Mihawk's Black Blade, is the most iconic of these weapons, representing the pinnacle of the power Zoro aspires to. Besides Yoru, there's Murakumogiri, Whitebeard's Naginata, which, although not a traditional sword, belongs to the same tier. What these weapons have in common is that they are not just physically powerful, but also seem to carry an aura of history, prestige, and mystery that makes them almost mythical. Throughout his journey, Zoro has shown his ability to understand and respect the nature of his swords. From the Sandai Kitetsu, which he acquired in Logue Town, to the Wado Ichimonji, which holds deep sentimental value, he has always treated his blades as extensions of himself. The introduction of Enma was a step further. This sword, with its relentless haki-draining power, symbolizes the challenge Zoro must overcome to reach Mihawk's level. But what if he encounters a sword that not only rivals Enma, but surpasses it in every aspect? I believe Zoro's first reaction would be one of pure interest and respect. He is not someone who backs away from challenges. On the contrary, it's precisely this type of situation that motivates him to grow even more. Perhaps he finds himself in a situation where the enemy wields a supreme grade sword, a blade so powerful that it makes Enma seem like just a stepping stone toward true power. This sword could belong to one of the Gorosei, as we know at least one of them wields a blade of seemingly high caliber, seen in chapter 233. Or it could be introduced as a legendary weapon hidden in some long-forgotten place, tied to the Void Century or the secrets of the Great Kingdom. If this sword is presented in battle, I think the emotional and physical impact on Zoro would be immense. Enma, as challenging as it is a sword he has progressively mastered, as seen in chapters 1010 and 1036, where he uses Conqueror's haki to amplify his strength and rival opponents like King. But a supreme grade sword would bring a new level of difficulty. Maybe Zoro finds himself unable to block this new weapon's attacks with Enma, or worse, perhaps, Enma starts showing signs of fragility against such overwhelming power. There's also the possibility that Enma reacts unexpectedly when exposed to a supreme grade sword. We know that swords in One Piece have their own personalities, especially those of higher quality. Enma has already shown an almost insatiable desire for its wielder's haki, so it's plausible to imagine that it could evolve in some way when challenged. Perhaps Enma, feeling inferior to a supreme grade sword, demands even more from Zoro, forcing him to reach a level of haki he hasn't fully mastered yet. This idea of evolution also ties into the concept of black blades. Zoro mentioned in chapter 937 that turning a sword into a black blade is an achievement he must accomplish. And perhaps that's the key to transforming Enma into something that rivals supreme grade blades. On the other hand, there's a real risk that Enma could be damaged or even broken when facing a supreme grade sword. This would be a devastating blow to Zoro, both practically and emotionally. Enma represents Odin's legacy and Zoro's respect for his history, so losing it would feel like losing a part of himself. However, this could also serve as a catalyst for Zoro to seek an even more powerful sword, or perhaps rebuild Enma in a way that makes it even more formidable. Moreover, encountering a supreme grade sword could deepen Zoro's relationship with his current swords. He has always treated his blades as partners, but perhaps this moment would force him to realize that he cannot simply rely on powerful weapons. I think he would understand that his strength must come from within, and the swords are merely a means to channel that strength. This is a lesson Mihawk may have tried to teach him during their training, but one that Zoro would only fully grasp when facing something that challenges him in ways he has never experienced before. I think the impact of this experience would also be felt throughout the crew. Luffy and the others trust Zoro as one of the group's pillars, and seeing him face such a difficult fight could be a moment moment of unity for everyone. Luffy, in particular, would understand the weight of what Zoro is facing, as he himself has dealt with similar challenges on his journey to become the Pirate King. However, the question arises, does Zoro really need a supreme grade sword to achieve his goal? Could he truly wield 3 swords of this caliber by the end of One Piece? This is a dilemma that involves not only Zoro's story, but also One Piece's philosophy about character growth. When Zoro receives Enma, a legendary sword from Odin, he doesn't just gain a powerful weapon. He is given a challenge. Enma demands absolute control over its user's haki, making it a sword that tests Zoro's limits. But instead of backing down, Zoro accepts the challenge and begins training to master the sword. The introduction of Enma thus represents a significant step in Zoro's evolution as a swordsman, helping him get closer to his goal, though there is still a long way to go. What do you think? Does Zoro need a supreme grade sword to achieve his ultimate goal? He already wields a legendary blade, Enma, and his mastery of it grows with every battle. While Enma may not strictly be a supreme grade sword, it undoubtedly possesses immense power. It carries Odin's legacy, and its strength is deeply tied to mastering Conqueror's haki, something Zoro is beginning to wield impressively. However, there's a crucial difference between Enma and supreme grade swords like Mihawk's Yoru. These blades are considered the pinnacle of craftsmanship, and Zoro is still some distance from that level. But that doesn't mean he can't reach it. Zoro has always shown an extraordinary ability to learn and adapt quickly, especially when faced with daunting challenges. What he truly needs is not just a more powerful sword, but to unlock a new level of mastery over himself and his weapons. Now, the question that excites fans the most, could Zoro wield 3 supreme grade swords by the end of One Piece? So far, Zoro has demonstrated unparalleled skill with his signature 3-sword style, Santoryu, a hallmark of his combat prowess. He isn't just any swordsman, he's someone who surpasses the limits of what's expected, wielding 3 blades with mastery that is outshined only by his indomitable willpower. The idea of Zoro wielding 3 supreme grade swords raises an intriguing point. It's not merely about having powerful weapons, but also about how he would handle them. A supreme grade sword like Mihawk's Yoru requires immense skill, and wielding 3 such blades would be a challenge unlike any other. This would test Zoro's skill, endurance, and mastery of haki to its absolute limits. However, it's important to remember that in One Piece, a character's strength isn't defined solely by their weapons. The swords may be incredibly powerful, but Zoro's true strength lies in his skill, willpower, and ability to adapt and overcome obstacles. The swords are merely tools to channel that power. Zoro doesn't necessarily need 3 supreme grade swords to become the world's greatest swordsman. In fact, he could achieve that title with just 1 sword, provided he fully masters his art and unlocks the power within himself. On the other hand, the possibility of Zoro wielding 3 supreme grade swords is fascinating. It merges the themes of personal growth with the quest for power and recognition. Possessing 3 blades of that caliber would make Zoro not just a powerful swordsman, but a living legend. Yet, such power also comes with great risk. The burden of wielding these blades might prove too heavy for any man, and Zoro would need to learn how to balance his physical and mental strength to achieve such a feat. If Zoro does end up wielding 3 supreme grade swords, it would have a profound impact on his development as both a swordsman and a character. While Zoro has already undergone significant changes throughout the series, wielding 3 such powerful swords would demand a level of discipline, control, and focus he might not yet have attained. This fits perfectly with One Piece's philosophy of personal growth. Zoro wouldn't just become a stronger swordsman, but would need to evolve spiritually and mentally to prove himself worthy of such weapons. This challenge of mastering 3 supreme grade swords could also serve as a unifying moment for Zoro and his crewmates. His journey to fulfill his dream wouldn't just be a solitary one. He would rely on the support of his crew, especially Luffy, to overcome it. Zoro's growth as a swordsman would thus be interwoven with the bonds of friendship and his role within the Straw Hat crew. What do you think about this? Share your thoughts. That was today's content. We hope you liked it and want to share your opinion on the subject. Don't forget to share the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and stay amazing.